Hey everybody, Sept, Spreitzer here with Robert Ferringo. We are DocSports.com. We're talking some Week 1 NFL football. The Jets at the Bills coming up in just a moment. Hey, if you've yet to become a member over at DocSports.com, just want to give it a trial run. Real cool way to do so. You click on the link below the video, get yourself set up for a free $60 account, and then you can use those free $60 on any of our daily packages. Anybody on the roster over at DocSports.com. It is as simple as that. We got the Jets and the Bills, where the Bills are laying 6-40. But I got to ask you the most important question of this video before we get to the game itself. What the heck is over your shoulder? I see something about alcohol, Robert. What is that?
Yeah, it says alcohol, because no great story ever started with someone eating a salad.
Well, there you go. There's no doubt about that. Let's jump into the game. I love it. Jets and the Bills. And you would have had to have thought over most of the past 15 years that you would have had a few too many if you were predicting the Jets or the Bills to take out the New England Patriots in the AFC East. But my, how things have changed in the offseason as Tom Brady says see ya to Belichick and the gang and heads down to Tampa Bay. So now you got a division that's kind of wide open, I guess. The Bills are thought by most to be the team that's going to challenge New England for AFC East supremacy. They're fresh off the 10-6 campaign. I just got to ask you if you believe the hype on the Bills. They're 64% of the tickets against the spread are on the Bills thus far, and again, they're laying 6 in this one.
Well, it's an interesting question. So yes and no. Okay, I am bullish on the Bills. I love what McDermott has done with this team. They have a top 5 defense, which they only added more pieces to in this offseason. I love to see that when teams add to a strength. They don't just let it wither and die. They went out and addressed their issues in the receiving corps, getting Stephon Diggs. They shored up their offensive line. Their top 10 offensive linemen, they have one of the most experienced and versatile offensive line rooms, basically, in the NFL. I love how this foundation has been laid for this team. So I am bullish on them going forward. However, as you can see with this number, they are starting to become a little bit overhyped. Their lines are starting to be inflated. You're seeing not only the higher percentage of bets on them, but you're starting to see that season win total start to tick up. And changes in a team's season win total from April to September usually gives you an idea of how the odds makers are shifting their perceptions of these teams. So I do like the Bills. I do think that they are going to win this division, but I don't think that they're going to be a dominant team. I think 9 wins is going to win this division this year. So they are better and heading in the right direction, but it's going to be a really interesting thing to see how much value we can actually find on this team this year.
You know, I'm looking at some of the additions, like you mentioned, a wide receiver with Diggs. They've got a running back by the name of Taiwan Jones, who I think is going to have even a bigger year in that not only can he run the football, but he can also catch some passes out of the backfield, which is what you got to do with Josh Allen. His 2019 QBR, talking about Josh Allen, was 24th in the league. He threw for the 23rd most yards. He's got to become a legit NFL starter in 2020. I think this is his year. Either he comes through and becomes somebody they can depend on and move that QBR to at least middle of the pack, at least 14th or 15th in the league for this team to reach 10 wins and match the hype that they're getting right now. As far as the Jets are concerned, I look at they were decent on defense in 2019, horrible on offense. They did have a nice stretch where they went 6-2. The offensive line stood out as the big fix, the big need, and they did land Mekhi Becton in the draft. He's a man-child, so that will help. And I'm like you, Robert, until I see something out of Josh Allen as far as a guy who could play consistently for most of 4 quarters and be a true starter in the NFL, it's tough to lay more than a field goal with this team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the X factor, right? I was not a fan of them drafting Josh Allen when they did. Okay, if they were right about him, then this is the year that we're going to see it. He has absolutely everything else in place, from the offensive line to the skill position players to a dominating defense to an established coaching staff. There's no more excuses. Either Josh Allen is the guy, and if he is, then they will take that next step, or he's not. But even if he's not, I still feel like they're good enough everywhere else on the field where they can compensate for a little bit of mistakes out of him. But the Jets are in a completely different situation. I don't like Sam Darnold either, and he has nothing to work with around him. You looked last year, they went 7-9, but I think they beat their Pythagorean win expectation by almost 3 games. They were one of the biggest statistical overachievers last year compared to what their actual record was and the talent level that they have. For all the grief that Adam Gase does, the fact that he got that just dumpster fire of a roster to 7 wins last year was kind of impressive, really. So I think that they're much further behind Buffalo in terms of where they are in their rebuild right now, and I think that that's going to play out in this game. And one other thing, this is a prediction that you can take to the bank. We're making these videos in late May, but I am guaranteeing you something about Week 1. Even if there's no fans allowed at Orchard Park in the stadium for this game in Buffalo, I guarantee you there will be 50,000 Buffalo Bills fans screaming, drinking, jumping through tables in the parking lot at Orchard Park before this game. It doesn't matter if they're not allowed in the stadium. They're all going to be there. I can guarantee you that.
Can you imagine being the ticket takers, the people that let people in when they do decide that we can have maybe 1/3 full stadiums and only 15 or 20,000 people can come watch a game, and you've got all those rabid fans in Buffalo and Orchard Park waiting to get in the stadium? That's going to be the toughest job in the biz. All right, he's Robert Ferringo. I'm ScottSpreitzer.com. Be sure to check out all of our Week 1 NFL videos, and don't forget about that free $60 account. You grab that, and it's a great way to give DocSports.com the trial run. Just click on the link below the video to get started. He's Robert. I'm Scott. We are DocSports.com.